Officer profiles the wrong man, and it ends his career. Sometimes, the biggest mistake a man makes isn't what he does. It's who he does it to. And on a quiet highway, just after sunset, one officer was about to learn that lesson the hard way when he profiled the wrong man. A man with more authority than he could ever imagine. Because when disrespect meets the wrong target, justice wakes up. It should have been a peaceful drive. Just Marcus Hayes heading home after a long day, windows slightly open, letting the cool evening air settle his mind. No rush, no stress, no reason for trouble. But trouble doesn't ask for permission. Flashing blue lights exploded behind him. Siren chirped once, sharp, aggressive, the kind that isn't asking, it's demanding. Marcus checked his speed. Steady. Limit. He checked his mirrors. Lane perfect. Everything is clean. Yet the light stayed glued to his bumper. He sighed. Pulled over. Hands visible. Engine off. Before Marcus could even blink, the officer stormed toward his window with a pace that wasn't professional. It was emotional. Heavy steps. Squared shoulders. Jaw tight. Eyes narrowed. License and registration. He barked. No greeting. No explanation. Just attitude. Marcus kept his voice even. Officer, can I ask WH? Don't ask me questions, the officer snapped. Just follow instructions. The real crime began at that moment. Not the stop, not the request, but the assumption. The assumption that Marcus was just another man to talk down to. Another man to intimidate. Another story that would never see daylight. The officer's voice got harsher. Command got louder. And when he rested his hand on his holster, casually like a silent threat, Marcus felt that familiar weight in his chest. Not fear, not panic, but exhaustion. The exhaustion of knowing that sometimes the people meant to protect forget who they're supposed to be. Marcus's story isn't new. It's not surprising. And that's exactly why it hits the soul. Because how many people experience this? How many people get judged before they speak? How many see a badge and pray that today isn't the day they become a headline? This story is relevant because it mirrors a reality too many people understand. Some officers serve with honor. Some forget what honor means. And some turn authority into a weapon. Marcus wasn't special to the officer. He was just another man in a car. Another face to project bias on. Another target to flex dominance over. But the reason this story matters is because the universe had finally picked the wrong man for him to bully. Because this time, the victim had a voice, a camera, a rank, and a truth that would break this officer's confidence in his career. Step out of the vehicle, the officer demanded. Marcus didn't argue, didn't roll his eyes, didn't raise his voice. He stepped out quietly, hands visible. The officer circled him like a predator marking territory, asking questions he didn't wait for answers to, making accusations that had no foundation, threatening citations he couldn't justify. Marcus remained calm, too calm, and that made the officer even angrier, because some men aren't used to losing control. Why are you so calm? The officer snapped. People like you always got something to hide. Marcus inhaled slowly. Officer, are you sure you want to continue this? The officer scoffed. Don't talk to me like you know the law. That was it. The turning point. Marcus reached, slowly, deliberately, into his jacket. The officer's hand immediately gripped his weapon. Don't move. Marcus froze. Then he lifted the item between his fingers. Not a weapon. Not a threat. A badge. The officer blinked. Confusion replaced confidence. His bravado cracked. Marcus said quietly. I'm Internal Affairs. Senior Investigator Hayes. Silence hit the road like a thunderclap. The officer opened his mouth. No sound came out. Marcus didn't yell, didn't boast, didn't gloat. He simply pointed to the dash cam in his own vehicle. Then the body cam strapped to the officer's chest. I have everything, Marcus said. Every word, every threat, every unlawful demand. The officer tried to backtrack. I didn't mean we can work this out. Marcus shook his head. No, we can investigate it. And investigate they did. When the footage was reviewed, the story unfolded in painful detail. No legal reason for the stop. Aggressive tone from the first second. Repeated intimidation. A hand on the weapon without cause. Violations of procedure at every turn. Clear bias in his language. The truth was louder than any denial. And when truth speaks, justice listens. Why did the officer do it? It wasn't safety. It wasn't protocol. It wasn't law. It was ego. The kind of ego that grows when no one checks it. The kind that believes authority means superiority. The kind that thinks respect is something demanded, not earned. His motive was simple. He didn't like the calmness. He didn't like the quiet strength. He didn't like seeing a man he subconsciously labeled as less stand tall without fear. The officer wasn't fighting crime. He was fighting his own prejudice. And in that fight, he lost. Badly. The verdict arrived quietly. One letter, one signature, one decision. Termination. No badge. No gun. No uniform. No authority. Just consequences. When they handed him the paper, he asked the question men ask when they finally face themselves. Why me? And Marcus, composed, steady, respectful as ever, answered. Because doing the wrong thing to the right person is still wrong. Marcus walked away, not as a victor, not as a hero, but as a man who proved a timeless truth. Respect is free. Dignity is free. Human decency doesn't cost a cent. But losing everything because of prejudice, that's a price you pay alone. The officer learned that the hard way, and his downfall became a message for anyone listening. When you judge someone before you know them, when you abuse power instead of protecting people, when you let ego replace justice, eventually, the truth catches up. And when it does, no badge can save you. Subscribe to our channel for more stories like this.